Hello, and welcome back to Little State Big Voices with myself, Shahida, and my fabulous co host, Tracy.
Hey everyone.
So, it's been a very interesting March. I hope all of you made it out to Yellow Cup weekend this past weekend.
I know it looked like it was going to be late and it sold out. I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I'm not shocked either. I'm glad that it did. I think every one that he's ever done has sold out, including the ones like in different states. So, I mean, big kudos and shout out to Wale. I hope that was a great weekend for all you young people because the gold cup and the black cups were not invited.
It's all good. Okay. Listen, while Wale is going to have something amazing for us. Don't worry about it. I know it's in the works.
My fingers are oh, we might just have to do something ourselves. We talked to him, we heard some of his good points. You see if we can bring some of that to life for ourselves.
I'm here for it.
But I know where he lives, so I'll be knocking on his door like,
We
hey.
it's at Wale's house. You heard it here first.
So it is the second week of March, and it is Women's History Month, and it's already started off, pretty pretty great and then pretty crazy. I listened to the State of the Union with Joe Biden the other night. I thought he came, he left no crumbs. He was not playing with people. Yes, he is old, but he is experienced and he knows what the hell he's doing, and I have confidence. I have confidence. And if it ain't him, it's Kamala, and I have more confidence.
Look, I'm here for it. I definitely am not here for the alternative. So
Absolutely not. And speaking of the alternatives, there is this new trend on TikTok and Instagram, trad wives. Have you heard of trad wives?
So I was like, what is Tradwives? And then you explained it to me, and I was like, oh, yeah, I've heard of it. I've seen the hashtag on socials.
So for those of you who don't know, it's traditional wives or going back to a time when women were traditional wives, didn't work outside the home, cooked, clean, kept the house tidy. And it's an important job. It is absolutely an important job. So we're not looking down on women who choose that.
So I had a trad husband. Well, I guess he's not trad. So he's the alternative to trad because my husband was a stay at home father.
Yeah, see that wouldn't be a
Right.
traditional.
Not traditional. It's the opposite of that.
It's the opposite
I'm
of the
coining
traditional.
phrase. I'm coining trad husband, and I will make it so that's the norm. Let's make it the norm.
I mean, whatever works. I think the problem that the internet and society is having now with traditional wives is, this push to go back to a simpler time, the 40s and the 50s, when women couldn't even have credit cards.
Yeah, and they were.
When, mhm.
I'm not laughing at them getting beat. I'm just saying, like, think about the shows like The Honeymooners, Pow, Right in the Kisser, Lucy and Ricky, where Lucy was always doing something harebrained and she was scared of Ricky finding out. Like, it was what we were taught was funny and cute, and it really wasn't because I don't think anybody wanted to be vacuuming in heels.
It and they were not. That was the perception on TV. That's what was happening. And the majority of America in during this time when people want to go back and say, "Oh, the 40s and 50s were simpler." Yes, things were simpler, but people also were struggling. Those people that you saw on TV and in these black and white movies, that was just an illusion, just like the Instagram and these TikToks are just an illusion because one of the most famous trad wives that I see right now is what is her name? I just told it to you,
Nara,
Nadia.
Nara Aziza. I
Who? What? Say it again.
think it's Nara Aziza.
Yeah, Nara. I think her last name is Smith now. I think because she's married, so her last name is
Uh,
Smith or something like that.
yeah, Nara Aziza Smith. I don't know if Aziza is her maiden name or her
Oh, okay.
name, but that's like
So
a handle.
she shows a very, traditional life. She's pregnant right now and she's making her kids homemade cereal, homemade granola. She's doing breads and she's all in, full face makeup, beautiful clothes, beautiful kitchen. She has a husband that is able to support their lifestyle, and it's not a middle class lifestyle. She's She's living a very high life lifestyle, and she's able to do that fine and great, but that's not the what the majority of Americans can afford to do. But also when you talk about traditional wives and going back to that simpler time, we're in the position right now where we're losing rights left and right. We don't have autonomy over our own bodies. So that's a concern. And although I feel like if you want to stay home, you should be able to stay home and take care of your family. But those who have to work or even choose to work shouldn't be shamed into like they're not giving their all to their family either. And plus, too, you need to take the ickiness out of it because the way they're being portrayed right now, it's almost like sugar candy for like pervs on the internet.
So I'm gonna let you know right now, I love her page. So
I know you said.
listen,
Mhm.
over there making homemade, what did she make? Wheat. She made homemade Cheez-Its the other day. I was like, I might have to go to the other side because I grad in my life to be making me all these meals. But honestly, I love to cook. I would make all this stuff myself. And not to say if I didn't have to work, let's say my husband became a billionaire and was like, or our family, came into some money and I didn't have to go to work every day. I'm not doing this every day. I'm not making cereal,
Mhm.
but I would do it as I please. But the thing about her is like, here's to set the tone for people who've never seen her. So first of all, her name is Nara Pellman, and she is not American. That's the other thing to keep in mind. This woman was, I think she's South African, and
She's mixed. She's South
yeah,
African.
German and South African. She's
Hmm.
a mother of two, and she's pregnant. So to paint the picture, she gets on, she's in a beautiful, pristine kitchen, okay? No dishes, no dirt, no grease. She's making these gorgeous meals, and she has the way she does her makeup, she always looks just slightly flushed
Hmm.
and a little bit sexy. Now, she's not showing a lot of stuff. She might show her stomach once in a while, but she's not, being provocative, looking quote unquote in any way. She just looks like, oh my God, this would be the perfect stay at home situation. And I've seen a lot of parodies, especially Black women have parodied the shit out of this, which
Hmm.
is hilarious. And I think, if this is someone's real life, if that's her reality and it's really that dope, good for her.
Hmm.
And it's very
But how much help does she have in the background
right.
that you don't see?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, and they actually, I mean, she's I don't know what his ethnicity is. He's what, German or something? But they live in Dallas.
Okay, I didn't know where they were living. Yeah.
Yeah, they live in Dallas, so they're here in America. And again, I like the idea. I love looking at people cooking. I'm not doing it. I love looking at people doing it, and she does. She puts on a very nice show. But that's what it is. It's a show. And I think people need to really start when they're looking at these social accounts and stuff like that. Just know that, and you can be the biggest follower of them. And I like content like that as well, but it's a show.
Yeah.
Just like a TV show, it's a show. It's highly produced. She has, I'm pretty sure she's not using her little old iPhone to do all of these videos. She probably has somebody doing them with her. And, she's Mormon, I think. And I think people are really kind of coming down on her now too because of her faith, which she never, and from the videos that I saw, she never made it an issue. And and we know that the Mormon lifestyle is kind of very trad wife-ish. But you have those out there that are still out there doing their thing and working outside the home.
She's untraditional.
Hmm.
She's traditional, but she's also untraditional in a few different ways. Like, so I'm guessing her husband may be from the South. I don't know. His name is Lucky Blue, and I know that's probably not his name, but that's giving Texas to me. I don't know why. And I guess he's a Mormon, and so I guess she converted for him.
I don't know. I just know that I just heard that she's a Mormon. I didn't know if what he was. Because honestly, I didn't, I thought that he was foreign born. I didn't realize that he was from Texas or any other place. I
Well,
thought he was not American.
so he was raised in the Church of Latter-day Saint, and
Hmm.
so anyone who kind of knows any little inkling about them, they're not the biggest fan of Black people. So that's, I think, another reason people are kind of pissed off with her, because up until the 70s, like late 70s,
Yeah.
Black people could not raise the ranks in their in their religion, and I don't even think they could go into the temple if I remember correct.
They could not.
So there's
Yeah, he's from Utah.
people saying not only is it trad wife propaganda, it's also Mormon propaganda, like you said. So
Mhm.
like trying to make it seem like, this is cool. But here's my thing. She's about to be the mom of a third child. You never know when your pregnancy is going to throw you for a loop, your birth situation. You might be down bad with postpartum. And I don't wish any of these things on this gorgeous woman. She's a beautiful appearing woman. I don't know if she's a nice person at all.
Mhm.
I think she's in her 20s, so she still might be growing into her womanhood, to be honest with you. But you don't know what's going to happen. Like this baby could turn her world upside down, and everybody can't be visibly messy on socials like Chrissy Teigen with their life. And I honestly, it's like, where's the balance? Do I want to see perfection or do I want to see messiness? You know, I just probably have to just swipe, you know?
Yeah, and I get that. I mean, I feel like she does less harm than other people. And when I say other people, I'm going to talk about the response, the Republican response, just for 2 seconds, because I'm not going to go too long into this. The Republican response from, I think she's a lower senator from Alabama or Georgia, Katie Britt. Where is she from? Yeah, she gave her a Republican response to, like they always do. That's always a setup. The State of the Union, and the opposite side does a response to that. And she showed us all that, when it comes to Republican women, they don't care about anybody else, and they will sit there and lie till their tongue is on fire and not care and tell you that they're not lying. But her thing was, she was sitting in her kitchen and she's like, this is where they eat their dinners, and where they weep for America because it's just going to hell. And Mr. President, you need to step down because the world is on fire. And I'm just
Crying, fake tears, crocodile Alabama.
this chick. I mean,
And she's
like, ma'am,
Alabama.
ma'am.
So
And then
she
sat up there and lied about just everything she just said. But you know what? And I'm sorry I cut you off. The thing is with these people, you can tell me everything that Joe Biden is doing wrong, right?
mhm.
What are you going to do to fix that? You never come with a plan. There is never a policy. The only things Republicans lead with is this type of, propaganda. This woman who is a senator. First of all, you're not a stay at home. You're not the traditional wife because you are in Washington, D.C. A good portion of the year. You had to move your family there. You're not a traditional wife either. You're out there working. You should be working for the people of your state, but instead you're on TV telling these, like, preposterous stories about, a woman who was raped, who was, being trafficked by a cartel, and her story is horrific, but it did not happen here. It happened 20 years ago in Mexico. But you made it sound like it happened yesterday.
Somebody gave her that story because first of all, 20 years ago, this lady's only 42. So when she was in University of Alabama or whatever the heck at age 20, wasn't thinking about this. She was doing keggers. I guarantee it. And what it's giving is born in Alabama, went to University of Alabama, you're Alabama senator, and that's fine. Some people are just townies, but it's given townie energy. You never left your nothing about the world or any other type of people, and you pulled this rabbit out of your asshole. Like but I'm gonna tell you what, Joy Reid is here to balance this all completely out. Joy
Mhm.
destroying her on Instagram, and I love it. She's given all the highlights.
Because she is not, she's unapologetic at this point. She's tired. She's tired of her own damn network. She's tired. Like we are all tired.
Mhm.
And the thing is with this woman, again, it fitting into that that tread wife trap that Republican men are trying to set up for women. And again, we are losing rights left and right. We are losing the, the right to say whether or not we want to use birth control. Like, of all the things to take away from a woman, why would you say she shouldn't use birth control? Why would you want to make that illegal?
And it's like,
That says a lot.
agenda is this? This is not a woman's agenda. As I'm a mom, a mother of 3. I love my children, but there's no way that I would want to be the mother of like 10, 12 children. But and Spike Lee did this in his movie Chirac. He was like, you know what? When the women wanted to get their point across, they just stopped having sex with the men.
Mhm.
Listen, you don't want me to use birth control? I got birth control for you. I will not be sleeping with you. How about that?
But then also, too, another thing that Republican men are trying to do is make rape legal, or at least not, if it's not legal, that they could get away with it, because they don't see taking it from you as something against your rights. Their whole thing is, well, the way you would dress. I have a right to be able to go in, and don't be their wife. You cannot tell them no. So, that's something that is changing. And those Midwestern states want to marry off 12-year-old girls at this point. They're figuring a way to make it. If we don't just, I'm sorry, I'm not that one to be like vote blue no matter what or all that other stuff. But at this time, in this day and age, there is one group of people for you and one group of people that are absolutely not for you.
It's disgusting. It really is.
So yeah, but that's the second week of March.
Yeah, listen, and I feel like when I go on socials, I'm bombarded with the women's history stuff. And from a lot of men too, which I love. I love the men saying, I especially love the ones that say Cash App or Venmo a woman 500.
Oh, is that a thing?
It is a thing. And I was like, I don't know if this is helping the female agenda, but I'll take 1,500 in my Cash App.
Please.
Yeah. Froggy, I mean, I can drop my Cash App comments for you.
But anyway, we do have a not so traditional woman that we had the pleasure of speaking with. And Tracy is going to give her fabulous introduction to her. I'm going to hand it off to you, Tracy, to introduce our fabulous guest.
Most certainly. So, our guest was born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island, and is an alumnus of Classical High School here in Rhode Island. At 4 years old, she decided she wanted to become a dentist because of the positive impact of her pediatric dentist. She went on to become a triple jumbo at Tufts University. If you don't know what that means, it means she got her bachelor's, her master's, and her PhD at Tufts. That's a triple jumbo. As an undergrad student, she triple majored in community health, child development, and biomedical engineering. As part of the early acceptance program, she attended Tufts Dental School and Medicine School. And she attended Tufts University School of Dental Medicine and earned her doctorate in medical dentistry. She's done so much that I'm getting tongue-tied, y'all. She completed her education at Tufts by earning her master's in public health at Tufts Medical School. She owns Marigold Dental Studio in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and provides care to underserved patients at a community health center in northern Rhode Island. So she's doing it too, y'all. She owns her dental studio and she's also giving back to underserved patients. In addition to clinical dentistry, she serves as an adjunct faculty member at the Community College of Rhode Island Dental Health Program and serves as a member of the Tufts University School of Dental Medicine Board of Advisors. Whoo, I'm getting tired, y'all, reading this amazing bio because she has done so much. And I feel like I need to catch up. But she's also, on top of all this, an entrepreneur running a wedding and event management business called Primary Weddings and Events, as well as an e-commerce business called Aliqua Headwear, which is satin-lined scrub caps for medical professionals. She has a profound love for learning, mentoring the next generation of healthcare leaders, and increasing the diversity of dental workforce. Put your hands together for Dr. Jakay Alesh. I mean, come on, y'all.
So my name is Jacka Alesh, and I'm the owner of Marigold Dental Studio. It is a boutique dental office in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and we see patients of all ages, and we do general dentistry. Okay, so general dentistry is pretty vague, yes, so that makes sense, but I do everything. So We do the comprehensive exams, treatment planning, fillings, crowns, veneers, implants. I love to do surgery. Only thing I don't do is root canals. I do not enjoy root canals. We do teeth whitening, professional teeth whitening in the office. And then we also have a take-home kit for your touch-ups. So I went to Tufts University for undergrad, and I graduated in 2011. I triple majored in community health, child development, and biomedical engineering. And then I did an early assurance program to Tufts Dental School, and I got my dental degree. And while I was in dental school, I did a dual degree with the medical school, and I got my master's in public.
And then all of this, and you're a mom.
Yes, I have a 4-year-old daughter who I will call her an angel, but she tests me every single day.
Little girl. I know she tests you.
Yes, exactly. Mom, but she's very well behaved outside of it. Thank you. Thank you.
I am, first of all, everything is an aesthetic to me. So if an aesthetic grabs me, I immediately feel comfortable in a place. And dentistry is something that a lot of people are fearful of. They don't want to get involved with it. Absolutely. A lot of times based on past traumas. But from the moment you even just see your logo, and the business is Marigold Dental Studio. Dental studio just sends the resistance meter down. Right. I feel like I'm in a studio, not in a clinic per se. Yeah. And then it's just the colors, they're inviting, your staff has been amazing. They've just been so welcoming, and I understand that you have really interior design this entire suite, which is fantastic.
Thank you. The goal was to make it spa vibe, so like people to come in and feel relaxed, and to just give that, like, our motto is the excellence you deserve. And I just feel like for me, I know the kind of place that I would want to accept treatment, and so I wanted to give the same thing. Like, I work with mostly underserved populations through community health center. I still work at my community health center. I've always worked in community health dentistry, and I had to like reframe what is the idea of serving people of color. It's not always this like struggle mentality. Like, the only way that I can serve my people is by doing low income service. There's Black people who have money or who have discretionary income who deserve an elevated experience, and who is serving them? Right. There isn't anybody serving them, right? And so, or even if you just say millennials or young people or people who want something that's technologically savvy, like, who is serving them? And it's not only working in a federally qualified health center, which I do and I'll continue to do, and I'll continue to serve that population, is not the only way to serve underserved populations. And I think thinking about Black people on a spectrum, and that we're not monolithic and there's not only one way that we're not being served, allowed me to think about how does Marigold Dental Studio fit into that equation, and like, how does this uplift my community as well? And like, all the students that I get to come in here, who get to shadow me, who get to become interns, I'm not able to do that at my health center. I don't own that. I don't have control over that. And now here I have students who I'm thinking about dentistry, and now they're saying, I want to be a dentist. Like, that changes things for real. You know what I mean?
That resonates. Or that's a legacy. And a lot of times African Americans, they need the role model. And the thing about you is that you're young, you're a doctor, you have, again, reinvented what it's like to be at the dentist's office. And I mean, everything from the personalized monitors in the dental suites. I mean, that's amazing. You walk into a room and your name is there. I feel like I'm at the Apple store now, and I'm calm. So that's, it's those touches that you're adding. You're basically changing
the monitors on so that the person can watch Netflix. Or that blew me away.
Thank you.
Because it's a bring like a comfort level that I've never had. Everyone in here is young, beautiful, right?
Period.
And of African descent, and that's beautiful to see. Like, it's almost like the women who drive the plane, and all of them are African. It's like that,
Right, your entire staff are of African American women,
either African American or Hispanic or something underrepresented. Marigold Dental Studio was located at 727 East Avenue in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and we have been here for a year. It'll be a year in March, but I don't know when you're gonna.
Monday.
Oh, okay. So a lot of patients do ask us, do we take their dental insurance? And the short answer is no, but the long answer is most likely. And so basically, patients with private insurance, we can use your benefits. This is the example. Your insurance covers 80% of fillings. If our filling costs $100, then we would take the $80 from your insurance and then you would owe us 20. So it's very easy to be a patient here. Even if you want to use your insurance benefits, we can maximize them for you. And then if there's any out of pocket expense, we tell you up front. So we don't send our patients bills. And that was one of the things about dental offices that I didn't want to do with this office. You pay for your treatment before you get it done, and whatever happens in the back, I manage, and then you leave. There's never going to be like, oh, I got this and it got bigger, and there's going to be a surprise bill after. It's, you know what you're getting into. So that way, if you want to come and get your treatment done, you get it done. If you're not able to do that at this time, then you know you're going to wait until you're able to. So you're not laden with surprise bills, or you're opening your mouth, but you don't know what's going to happen once you're checking out. You already know before you walk. And then for state insurance doesn't allow you to go to an out-of-network provider and use their benefits. So most of the patients that we have that have state insurance will become part of our membership plan, which is $199 to start, and then it's $35 a month thereafter. And it includes all of your preventative, so your new patient exam, your exam every 6 months, your cleanings, and then any treatment is 15% off. So some of the challenges I faced, I think in general, staffing, building this team, building this location. I started from scratch. So starting from scratch, literally every detail, how you walk in, how you check in a patient, we had to create that. Another thing is just capital and, having the money, having the financial means without a safety net. To make this practice happen, to pay my staff salaries, to buy supplies, all of those things take money, and I'm doing it by myself. So those have been the major challenge. So Marigold Dental Studio is accepting new patients. We would love to have you in the office.
Wow, that was absolutely incredible. As you see, that was a very short interview that we had because the sister is busy.
Booked businesses, teaching, doing dental work at, like, girl, this is what the opposite of a trad wife, but in such a great way.
The absolute opposite. And, just really out there making a difference in the community, because that's what women's history is about. It's about making an impact, not just on your small setting, but for the whole community. And she's really, she's really doing that. And it was great speaking to her and seeing her space. And I hope that you guys really do get a chance to go by, give her office a call. She's at 727 East Ave, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And before we actually end, Tracy has a really good story that she forwarded to me the other day, and it was very sweet. You want to tell us about it?
So I am going to get into that, but I just want to do one more plug for
Okay.
Marigold Dental Studio. I also want to add, which she did not give us in her bio because she's so very humble. Dr. Alesh is also among the 40 under 40. She's been recognized as 40 under 40. And when you get to her office, you will notice very distinctly that the majority, if not the entirety of her staff, are women of color. So I wanted to say that before we seg into this amazing feel good story that's taken over the internet, basically. And it's about Rhode Island college students who gifted their security guard a trip to Nigeria. And you saw it, you read it, right? Yeah.
I did. I didn't read the whole article, so if you could just go ahead and recap it, even for me,
Yeah.
because I didn't read the whole thing.
So basically, the students, because when you're a student and you're going to school, you're interacting with a number of people, not just your instructors, not just your fellow students. You're interacting with the staff in the cafeteria. You're interacting with the librarian, the security people. You see the same people over and over again. And if you're a good, kind person and you were raised right, you talk to these people because the janitor is just as important as your instructor. But anyway, long story short, a student got to talking, or a group of students got to talking to the security officer at their college, and they learned that he had not been back home to visit his family in Nigeria in over a decade. So the students got together and started a GoFundMe page for their building's overnight security guard, because this man is working overnight, and he's an immigrant to this country. I'm not going to put a stereotype on him, but I imagine he may even have a day job as well. So far, they have raised $23,383 on a goal of only $3,500. How amazing is that?
That is absolutely amazing. And then to be so, I love it when you see young people do something for someone else just because they recognize that that person is doing a great job.
And kids get a bad reputation these days.
Yeah, it was. I saw the video, but I didn't read the story. So that is really actually very heartwarming, and I'm glad to see that it happened here in our little state of Rhode Island.
And they're still collecting. Like, if you feel
Oh
like
wow.
James some more. So 687 donations, a total of 23,383 and counting right now. Honestly, I'm not mad if this man hits the 50,000 mark, because
Hmm.
he'll most likely go home and bless his family when he,
Of course.
but I think these students were being selfless. I don't think they did it to, to go viral or to get recognition, but a lot of people, like I said, they make the younger generation out to be like, oh, they're just all they want to do is be on social media. They don't really have the same emotions and feelings that we had coming up. Like, honestly, this was so warm and so heartfelt. And 100% of the proceeds are going to go towards travel for James. So he doesn't have to come out of pocket. Obviously, he can go Nigeria every year on his
Hmm.
like another decade, but I'm sure, like I said, he'll bless his family. And the officer's name is James. And this group of students just got together and did this amazing thing for him. So shout out to the students at RIC, aka Rhode Island College.
Wow, that's great. Well, so on that note, we are going to sign off, and we will see you next Monday. And until then, have a great week.
Have a great week. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We are on YouTube now, and keep those beautiful comments coming. We've received so many great accolades from people who are listening. Some people apparently listening overseas at 3 a.m., and we love it. Thank you guys.
We definitely appreciate it. So until next time, have a good one.
See ya.